Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. In the last video, we went back to the very distant quarry, contacted the ferryman, and had him drop off the naval mines to the Black Sea Expedition camp. They will be deployed around that camp and delay future savage assaults upon it. Then, since we were in the area, we checked our navcom and discovered that another location we want to investigate is the Lemurian Health Center, and we arrived here. The area appeared to have been sealed, but after talking with the receptionist that was reactivated upon us activating the servants from this console, we found her here. She informed us about what had happened here. The place had been bombarded by Biocorp, and deadly mutagen was released into the facility. She then mentioned that we must have been mistaken about one of the doors being sealed, and indeed, when we walked over to it, it opened for us. We were looking for a strongman to open some of the other doors and allow us further access to other parts of this facility. He apparently, after we found him in this portion of the Lemurian facility, he must have gone over here and opened this door. It must be located somewhere in this section now. However, something is not quite right. We are experiencing some strange phenomena here. We have seen ghosts, or are experiencing some psionic manipulation, because we are witnessing what happened to the people who were exposed to the mutagen. They are, or did, die horrifically. Some of them actually did not quite die, but existed for who knows how long, in an absolute nightmarish form. I have a hunch we'll see more of this going forward. Decker attempted to leave this facility. Screw it. Leave it behind. We're getting out of here. H-Group can find their own acorn if they want. But we were unable to even leave. We can't bring ourselves to hit the button on the elevator to take us up a floor. We are unable to do it. We cannot do it. And so the only way forward is through the remainder of the facility. Let's go ahead and do so. Must be a reception's desk. No, the reception desk is outside. Let's see what this room is for. What is this? Pharmacy. Oh, sure. Yep, that makes sense. People would line up here to pick up some drugs after being discharged from the hospital. Ooh, an iron gut pill. We'll definitely want that. The door won't budge. It feels like something is blocking it from the other side. We'll just leave then. I've never been able to figure out how to open this door, and not even Gabriel had the strength required to open it. I think his strength was 12 when he was in here. Now granted, that is far from the max strength you can have if you focused on strength in the game, to the detriment of any of your other abilities or skills, or stats, there we go, of your stats. But I wonder what is behind that. What could be behind it to make it worth taking a super high strength to find out. Something's blocking it from the other side. Must be the men's bathroom? I see a urinal on that wall. Let's check this center chamber. Tailoring kit. We'll take one of those. Another coil snail pen? Cone snail pen. But we already have studied all of them. Or rather, we cannot benefit from it. We've already studied the maximum amount of them allowed. Microchip implantation extraction unit. 100 lockpicking to open this door. I think we've got that. Yep, we can lockpick up to 136 effective level. I think if you complete the entire Lotaeri Health Center, you will end up with the key, allowing you to get into this location, but we can bypass that. If we had the will, we might even be able to avoid completing the rest of the Lotaeri Health Center, but it isn't high enough to get us past whatever is controlling us or wants us to witness what else happened here. A medical patch for Psi users addicted to abusing their power. It's expired, though. Psyderm. Is this from something special? I don't recognize it if it is. 3 Audi points, though. That is very nice. You have found a microchip implantation extraction unit in the Lotaeri Health Center. Find out if it's still functional. Microchip implantation extraction unit. If performing microchip implantation, make sure that the appropriate microchip implant has been properly inserted into the slot located above the hand aperture. The unit will automatically evaluate its functionality and request replacement if necessary. In performing microchip implant extraction, always make sure that the proper mode of extraction and disposal has been selected. Make sure to replace the sterilization mixture canister once the gauge turns red. The implantee's hand needs to be bare. It should also remain motionless for the entire duration of the procedure in order to avoid complications. The procedure is atraumatic and does not require anesthetics in the majority of cases. The procedure should always be performed in the presence of a qualified physician. Well, we haven't found a microchip, but one lying around, but we do have one in Phil's hand. Why don't we try to extract it from it? Waiting for the implantee to insert his or her hand into the aperture. Use Phil's arm. Following the on-screen instructions, you carefully remove the glove from the hand. The glove's hand has always felt somewhat fleshy when pressed, much fuller than one would expect, as if the glove has somehow preserved this very old hand from decay. The glove has preserved it. Too well, in fact. You've been carrying a living creature with you all this time, if one can call this a single creature. What you actually see is greenish tissue in the shape of a human hand. Familiarly tumorous and unmistakably perverted, writhing unhappily at what you've done to it, or perhaps what you're about to do next. You insert the hand into the unit's aperture and observe. So it's a living thing, all on its own. A sharp instrument emerges from the top of the aperture, targeting the area between the thumb and the index finger. A small nozzle parallel to its tip sterilizes the hand. The mass begins twitching and squirming, as if in pain, and the implement driving into its flesh exasperates its condition even further. A second passes, and the microchip is out, disappearing inside the unit. You hear a familiar spraying sound coming from inside the unit, and following a short delay, the microchip implant drops into a small tray on the unit's right side. The hand is motionless and sterilized, its green coloration slowly losing vividness. You remove it from the unit. It is now dead, if it was ever even alive. Extraction successful. The microchip implant has been sterilized and deposited into the extraction tray. Well, let's put it into us. Microchip implant slot is empty. Please insert an appropriate implant into the slot located above the hand aperture. Insert Phil's microchip implant and put your hand in the aperture. You insert your hand into the aperture and rest it inside a padded cuff. It slowly closes around your wrist, keeping it firmly in place. A syringe-like instrument emerges from the top of the aperture, targeting the area between the thumb and the index finger. A small nozzle, parallel to the needle, sterilizes your hand, and then you feel a sting, and the microchip is in. The instrument retracts, and the cuff opens. Implantation successful. Testing. Test signal received. No issues with the microchip implant detected. Alright, 2 experience points for that. And now we can probably go into the Citadel of Life. But we'd have to get out of here first. Which is not something we can do quite yet. We can try activating the elevator again when we pass by it after we're done with this area. And we'll see if we can get out now that we have the implant in our finger, but I don't think that we're going to be able to. Life Man is here. Before we talk with him, let's explore some more of this. Chemical bulk, we already know that plan. Alright, nothing in any of the rooms. Oh, except for some oddity items, obviously, which we got earlier. Some bullets. Let's go ahead and search the boxes. The Lifespan doesn't look like he's in any hurry to get out of this room. Looks like he's sealing this door. Nothing there I'm interested in. Nothing here either. A decent level spear and steel machete. A curved shock steel machete. That might be worth something. Let's break down, however, these other melee weapons we just picked up. They'll be worth a ton of scrap. And with those, we can make a few more repair kits. The servant is trying to pry open the gate with his hands. Do you need my assistance, sir? I'm unable to assist you until after I have opened this gate. Why are some of you servants friendly to me, whereas the others are not? Servants may not cause harm to any sir or ma'am, or their pet animals. If you have been or are being assaulted by a servant, then the unit must be defective, and should be immediately reported to the on-duty member of the Morian security. Or it could be that you are not a sir. Sir. Well, why are you trying to open this door? I'm attempting to save lives, sir. There are sirs and ma'ams on the other side of this gate that need my help. But there's a large hole in the wall you can use to get out of the room. You do not understand, sir. There are sirs and ma'ams on the other side of this gate. I need to open it if I am to reach them. There's another way. Are you blind? Sir, you should seek medical assistance immediately. You're displaying symptoms of a severely reduced cognitive ability, quite possibly due to the effects of the mutagen. I'd carry you to a physician myself, but I have to open this gate first. There's a massive opening in that wall over there, you tin-headed puppet. Why don't you listen to me? Sir, please. There are certain matters on the other side of this gate, and they require my assistance. I must go through this gate, and there is nothing you or anyone else can do to misguide me. It is my directive. I am incapable of defying it. You seem to be struggling with the gate. I am afraid you're right, sir. Putting aside the fact that my actuators have not been serviced in more than 250 years, my power cell's state of charge has dropped to suboptimal levels for the task at hand. My pedestal, which serves as my charging base, has malfunctioned, and I have not been recharged in a period of time I am, for some reason, unable to specify, sir. Can you stand on another statue's pedestal and charge yourself? I could, sir, but all of them are on the other side of this gate. There is no way to reach one until I open it. Any other ways to open the gate besides brute force? Not while this building is under lockdown, sir. There are manual override levers underneath each gate panel, but the lockdown disables them. If gates must be opened, even under lockdown, strongmen have been designed to accomplish that task. It does require strongmen in optimal working state, sir, which I am currently not. Can I charge you? I would be most thankful, sir. There is a manual recharging slot to my, pardon my expression, rear end, sir. However, the slot is not where, again, pardon me for using this language, the opening to the digestive tract is, sir, but is behind a small panel on my left buttock. With your help, I might be able to open the gate and reach those sirs and ma'ams in need, sir. Alright, let me see if I can do this. Thank you, sir. I did half expect this to seal behind us after walking in here originally. thus proving that we, again, were incorrect with the doors. Alright, so the game has thrown several greater fusion cells at us. Let's go ahead and recharge him. Wow, and one of them was not quite enough. He has used quite a bit of energy. The gate is open, sir. I must proceed. Wait, can you open the gates behind the reception for me while you're at it? The morgue? That is exactly where I'm headed, sir. Follow me, but do take great care. There are mutated sirs and ma'ams right past this gate. If they surprise you, I may not be able to react in time to assist you, sir. The morgue? Who mentioned the morgue? You did, sir. Time is running out. It is necessary that we make haste. Be careful, sir. You hear words. You hear them in your mind. They are being spoken by a voice that is not yours. The other voice. The words may sound articulate and meaningful. They may be carried out by a tone that is rich and pleasing, but they are not your words, and it is not your voice the one uttering them. So you address it, subconsciously, but the other voice doesn't stop or even pause. It carries on as though you were silent. It doesn't wish to stop or pause either. This is your mind, your refuge, your realm. Interloping vocals must be confronted. Something is basically causing us to talk. Or say, utter words or sounds that we are not, or would not be able to do ourselves. But before you're able to even finish that thought, you come to the realization that the dialogue you just engaged in is actually beautiful. It is a contraptional dance of sentience, a captivating, profound, and fluent interchange in which the two independent and adventurous melodic voices, your voice and the other voice, caress each other and give birth to mesmerizing harmony. Beauty of sound. You like this. You can't not. And as soon as you sink into the enjoyment that sprang into your mind like an unexpected epiphany, the other voice's timbre changes. This reminds me a bit of the dreams in Irana's piece for Quest for Glory 4, where you would have these pleasant dreams of meeting the Mage Irana, and then they would become perverted nightmares as Avuzal's influence took over. Don't listen to it. Evict the other voice. The more you try to overpower its voice, the louder it becomes. And the more you try to control your own voice, the more you realize you cannot. Again, when I had a stroke several years ago, I suffered from aphasia. I couldn't speak. I had no actual words that I could say. It was like someone ripped them all from my mind. Someone would ask me a question, and I could only make sounds in response to answer them. Like someone would say, "What's your name?" And I could only go, "Das," or something. It wasn't anything comprehensible. And for me, I recognized that I was not I heard the sounds I was making. And after trying to answer a second question and realizing that I couldn't, I just would shake my head or nod my head, because I could at least do that to respond to their questions. But I couldn't give them my name. I couldn't tell them what day it was, for example. So this reminds me of that as well. The other voice drops in pitch, becoming coarse and foul. Its previous impeccable rhythm is now but vulgar syncopation, clashing with your fluent lines, turning euphony into nightmarish cacophony, as the hostile notes claw at each other in dissonance. A speedy decomposition of this colloquy is taking place, and there is nothing you are able to do to rectify it. Then, without missing a single grim beat, the words lose all of their meaning. You cannot differentiate one word from another. All you can understand, if barely, is something that you'd rather never hear again. Now, slurred and incomprehensible, the other voice rings with mounting subhumanity. Its corruption is contagious, because you comprehend in horror that your own voice has turned into hollow, despondent hollering as well. Dread grows inside you as you realize that you are forgetting the melodious beauty of the human voice, and what those words you had spoken so delightfully meant. Your thoughts are slowing down, and the two voices merge into monophony. Droning monophony. You can now only vaguely remember random disjointed syllables you had once been uttering, devoid of most of their meaning and purpose. But you don't even care anymore. Who could miss something so distant and vague? The sounds you are making now are just an extension of your breathing. Its mere idiosyncratic embellishments, concealing suppressed cries of pain. And then you hear your own rapid breath, clear and unweighted. You speak them, words, just random words, only to hear what they sound like. The melody is there, but the timbre of your voice has lost some of its overtones, lost some of its life. Okay, handmaiden time. So let's run up. I'm gonna try killing these with just my pistol. Let's use bullet time to start. Gonna make a lot of noise, so everyone's gonna know I'm here now. There's more than just these, I suspect, around. I hate wasting another bullet on it, but I need to open this area up so we can run around. Bullet time's gonna take a while to get off cooldown. Oh God! Well, let's run up. I'm sorry. I mentioned bullet time because I can be guaranteed to kill a strong man if I expose weakness it, use bullet time, and then fill it full of standard rounds. So, but without bullet time, I can't be guaranteed to do this. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Just 3 of them? We did see the strong man leave. Oh, 1 second. My bandages aren't on my hotbar. Okay, let's see where he went. Did no other doors open for us? They're all still locked. The door behind the receptionist is open. Let's talk with her again. Okay, she has nothing new to say to us. Can we leave now can we force ourselves to leave? Nope, we still cannot. You feel a strong surge moving through your body. It starts to the front of your brain and radiates away, passing through every organ and reaching every tissue and every cell, even if they are located in the remotest ends of your being. You open your eyes, even though you are certain that they had already been opened, and you see veins, oddly blue veins, with membranes stretched thinly between them. Through this layer of flesh, you see light. Try to sleep? Overwhelming senses won't let you. You surrender to the senses, You can smell again. That scent is redolent of death. You can hear again. That pulse of a somber heart. You can taste again. That vile acidity. You try to move, struggle with all your might, but you are unable to. Not until one of your arms victoriously rises into the air. You feel it and see its shadow through the fine tissue. You reach for this fleshy mass impeding your vision and grasp it like a cobweb, pulling it aside so that your eyes may fully bathe in light. It blinds you temporarily, but you adore it nonetheless. Your vision is now clear, and you feel motion everywhere. You feel as though you're floating in a sea of corporeal waves. You must see it, so you slowly turn your eyes and gaze at it. And faint. You open your eyes, even though you are sure they had already... No. You remember it now. You fainted. You remember... horror. Utter horror. But you must look again no matter what. As you lay those fearful eyes upon yourself again, the shock surges through you like the energy that woke you from your timeless slumber. The feeling shakes you not unlike a bowl of living jelly, from which you, in fact, might not be so different. You look abnormal, malformed, oddly blue, disgustingly red, and tumorously green. You're unable to recognize most of you, or at least what you think is you. Everything is moving, voluntarily and not, but you are alone. You are alone. So much motion, yet it's all a single soul. You are alone, and you will stay alone. I really enjoyed this area with Garrett when I had played through it. And actually with all the characters I've played through the game with. It's been greatly enjoyable to end up playing what amounts to like a horror game at this point. Great job with the descriptions, and I really like the interaction with the receptionist. I don't think that got anything's attention. I did not? Okay, nice. Punching robots with our power fist is considered silent. So we didn't alert anything. Nothing in this room. Oh, some remains. Oh, but that's just the handmaid's remains. Okay, I don't need spikes. We saw a strong man walking over there. There's another down here. Okay, we missed the exposed weakness. So this has got really annoying. I really don't want to miss the exposed weakness, so we're just gonna slow him down. I guess we will fire the gun when he gets a little closer. Sure, we'll let everyone know we're here. Still on cooldown. I notice you are feeling stressed, sir. Oh! There's a lot of you. Let's move up and try an EMP grenade. That works. handmaiden on the way to investigate the sound as well. Two of them. They're running around to reach us. Should have used bullet time. I don't know why I didn't do so, but I didn't. Okay. Let's have some vitality powder to help us here. Use bullet time. Switch to our WTC rounds to help us kill this strong man quickly. Back to standard rounds. I'll slug it out. The handmaiden in melee. Almost killed her. All right. Oh, not quite all done though. There's another enemy here. Exposed weakness is not off a cooldown. Let's slow him. Fatigued. That's fine though. We should have no issue killing them. Okay, we'll search all their bodies to get rid of them. Did we find both handmaiden dolls? I don't think we did yet. Maybe we'll find another one somewhere in here. I know we found both strongman dolls. An MRI scanner. So we don't really want to activate this any longer. This probably pulls all the strongmen and handmaidens into it. But we don't care about that any longer now we've killed them. An MRI creates, what's it called again? Magnetic resonance imaging, I believe is what that stands for. And yes, the magnetic pull will be very strong in it. And since there's probably a great deal of metal in the strongman and handmaidens, that's hopefully be enough. And hopefully the magnetic pull is large, would be great enough to pull them into that room. Lots of siderms all over the place here, in case you missed one, I suppose. And quite a few psionic teachers in this area. Changing rooms. This is probably where you would go to get put into a gown. You'd be called out here and then brought into the MRI. You leave your stuff in this area too. I must have had like 15 or 20 MRIs in my life so far, and double that for CT scans. So we could detonate this wall, but it looks like we could also hack our way into it. So we'll do that. We'll do that instead of using dynamite. Huh. And nothing in here. The label indicates this used to be a transformer for the nearby magnetic resonance imaging scanner. It isn't receiving any power at the moment. We don't care. We can just stay there. Power cells are always worth taking. Microchip implantation room key. So we don't need yet another key, is what the description says. We don't need it. We've already lockpicked our way in, so that key can just stay there. Hello, camera. How are you doing? You can look at me. You have a good day. Ornate Lumerian cutlery. Would almost be ashamed to use cutlery this fancy on a mere cave hopper stake. 1 odd experience point. Close! Getting close. 14 more oddity points and we've leveled up. That was an amazing smart lens. 121 quality. Care about bolts, nothing else in here we want. Hello, camera. Alright, this area's been cleared. Let's see what's waiting for us down in the morgue then. After we repair our pistol again. I could also use a charge. Guess I'll recharge all my things that need charging. Level 2. We probably can't reach any of these other levels, but we'll give it a try anyway. Yep, nothing. To the morgue we go. We are getting a headache. And the urge to kill. Oh, kill me. Something... The voice is whispering. Yet its plea is deafening. It's begging for us to kill it, rather than continuing to allow whatever it is to suffer. Utility. I think there's a room filled with coolant, which we can get into. But going in that way is kind of rough. Freezer. Dead security captain. We're taking all of it. It looks like he has another Lumerian blaster. Yep, another Lumerian blaster. He had an Audi that we've already discovered, and I think an advanced repair kit or something to that effect. Administration. Let's see what the man in here, the strong man, can tell us. Death lives here. Welcome to the morgue, sir. For death I came. Yes. You understand him. Who is he? Dr. Mason. Everyone died. No one lived. Yet he is unable to settle. It's his mind, you see. It is exceptional. He can reach others' minds, like yours. You are the first to approach him in a long, long time, sir. Why did I get these visions? We know already. It's because he wanted us to see what happened to everyone in here, what he experienced, because he wants us to realize how badly he wants death. Communication. He can only reach you through your mind and only through emotions. Why me? There is no one else, sir. What about the other servants? They are just like me. I am simply the one closest to him. What now? Retribution, sir. Resolution. I am ready. He desires, yearns for resolution. He chose death a long time ago. You understand him fully. You can help him. What is the reason I am able to help him? You can endure it. You've experienced enough. I'm not doing this. Please listen, sir. I will lead you into this chamber. He will help you with the rest, sir. And when you leave that chamber, you will emerge different. I'm really torn on this because we've witnessed absolute nightmarish horror that happened to this poor gentleman, and he just wants someone to go in there and kill him. And we've witnessed enough that we will be able to mentally withstand what we see when we enter that room. Kiss my organic ass. I'm not going in there, but we'll resist it. We will resist it. I never actually have done this before, so I do not know what will actually happen. Focus Stem, Hypercerebrix, and a Fold M7. Large jar of salt. Looks like salt, but smells funny. The jar is marked with a circle and a single horizontal line in the middle. Probably shouldn't use this for cooking. A lighter and a cigar. I wonder what will happen to us now that when we attempt to leave. If will we even be allowed to leave, I wonder. A scent of putrefaction touches your nose in passing. We can just leave. That's an awful feeling. To leave someone in such a state. I need to look up Decker's background a little bit more to decide if I want to keep this. Give me a few seconds. I can't bring myself to not kill it. That's interesting that you can walk out if you just decide to destroy the man here. So, looking up the information for Decker, I have been trying to play him as a bit of a jerk, but he's still been trying to do the right thing more often than not. And there's not really a whole lot of information on this character online. There's like a little bit of his biography. He was let go for not conforming to certain standards of attire, drinking on the job, and using language in certain situations. And then when he was let go, he took some of the company's technology and I think a weapon, and didn't return them when he joined Invisible Inc. So I think that's the background, as summed up as easily as I can. In some dialogue options that he's got with other people, he's an asshole, but he still works with the team. So maybe he jokes a little too much. He's not, I don't necessarily know if he's a bad guy. I think in this instance, after everything we've seen, I mean, I just have a hard time not killing the poor doctor on the other side of that door, since I have suffered so much. But Decker isn't me, so... But I think... So, what's gonna happen? So, it looks like your choice is destroy this guy, walk out. You never know for sure what's on the other side of that door. You leave, and the poor person exists in a state of perpetual torment forever. The alternative is that you kill him, and you get a special feat. But that feat isn't necessarily all positive. Let's do it, and you'll see the feat. But we'll just get right to the, Ready. Okay, so what's the reason to be able to help him? I want to help him. What would the next step be then? Okay, so let's do it. So... Let's do this. I'm going in. Finally. Follow me and stay focused. You leave the morgue, shaken up by fleeting memories as though you've woken up in the middle of a dream and trying to grasp at its fading contents. Entering the morgue felt like returning to an imagined childhood home one couldn't wait to leave. The horror before your eyes was like those repressed, demented relatives. The morgue stench, much akin to the moldy storerooms everyone used, the sinister reverberations, scheduled train passes overhead, and the acidic taste in your mouth, unpalatable batch cooking. It is the familiarity that prevented the evasive senses from overwhelming you and distracting you from reality and your goal. The mass of flesh, shifting and moving and trembling before you, was seemingly alive, begging not to be. Its hollow voice came from within your head, rambling about its troubled existence, every bit permeated with a desire for death, true death, and this death you granted. The method you do not remember, but the more you stare at your blood-drenched self, the more fragmented memories of this being's gory death start flashing before your eyes. Gushing blood, rippling flesh, oozing slime, and everything else. After all of this, you find yourself outside with a clear mind, a passing headache, and an utter desensitization to body horror. Okay, so we are no longer... Basically, the idea behind this is that we have witnessed something so horrific, so absolutely beyond the realm of anything anyone would ever have wanted to witness, that we are now deadened to any type of horrific injury from this point forward. And what that feat gives us is body horror. After what you've seen, you'll never look at the fleshy form again. The same again. Critical hit chance with weapons and unarmed attacks against humanoids and non-insectoid critters increased by 3%. So that's great. That helps us against the pirates, for example. Resolve reduced by 30%. But when something finally does begin to affect us, we are probably terrified of it, and we're not going to be able to resist it very well. Our resolve is now 76, so it's probably close to 100 before we did this. Now, it's not so bad from a gameplay perspective, I think, for Decker. With a will of 4, and that means he has a low resolve anyway, he's not going to really pass any real resolve checks. Like, he's going to be incapacitated the vast majority of the times that something does, like, a mental breakdown on him, mental subversion, or flashbangs, I think, are also our resolve checks. And he's going to be affected by them almost all the time anyway. So, that doesn't really bother this character. But it would bother other characters who might have high will and thus want a high resolve. It also reduces damage and or duration of certain psionic attacks against a mind directly. So we'll also take more damage from Neuro Overload, for example. But we were already taking a lot of damage from Neuro Overload. And when it comes to Psychics, they're already target number 1 for us to eliminate when we fight them. You'll note, by the way, the receptionist is gone now, and she's also not on her pedestal. All the doors here are still opened. I think that if you had not looted the bodies of the handmaidens and strongmen, though, their remains would not be found, which I think is interesting. That means that we imagined all of it while we were in here, but yet we still have all of the things we picked up from them. It's rather interesting, kind of creepy in a way. All right, we'll go with this. All right, let's get back to our jet ski and get over to Agents Incorporated. We'll talk with Marcus, we'll sell some stuff, and then we'll end the session there. Off screen, I will go ahead and do some selling of things in Core City. And when we come back, we'll probably be exploring more of that area. We don't have any jet drag. We'll still equip this. Doing a decent job remembering to swap out my headgear now, I think. I just have to keep at this. We also know there's at least one more jet ski patrol somewhere out in the ground out here. We'll try to avoid it by going a little more to the north. Yeah, we're almost leveled up. We need another, looks like 12 experience points. 15. 15 more experience points. I can... Upper Underrail and the Black Marsh will have that total. Okay. I'm thinking while we're here, let's grab that better battery. Since I'm going to be going back to Aegis Incorporated. And then juicing back to Core City. Our food's almost expired. Actually, let's have the Pentapus barbecue then, as well, and we'll just loot everything from the barrel. It'll weigh us down quite a bit. Our glow's going to move a little slower, but it'll be okay. Let's talk about everyone. There's not really much to talk about. We're ending the game. Actually, I guess there's nothing really for you guys to watch. I'm just going to be doing some vendoring. So we'll stop here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.